His lungs were burning, his arms and legs aching, and he was close to drowning in the middle of the pool in front of 17,000 people. He could barely swim, let alone compete. So how did this guy even make it to the Olympics? Well, in the lead up to the Sydney Games in 2000, in a bid to encourage all countries, including developing nations, to participate in the Games, the International Olympic Committee offered Equatorial Guinea a wildcard entry for swimming. The country established their own brand new swimming federation, and they put out a call, asking anyone who knew how to swim to come to a hotel in the capital city of Malabo for a tryout. Eric Musambini was one of only 2 people who showed up. So after flopping around in the hotel pool for a couple minutes without sinking, Eric was accepted into the team, and just like that, he was on his way to the Sydney 2000 Olympics in Australia, a country he'd never even heard of before. But as the Olympics approached and he finally arrived at the pool in Sydney and saw how big it was, he nearly shit himself. See, Eric had practiced in the lead up to the Games using the hotel's 13-meter pool, and by his own measurements, he was able to swim the full length of the 50-meter freestyle without stopping. But this pool was way bigger than he expected. He asked the officials how long it was, and they told him 50 meters. Eric was a little confused. He was told that he had to swim all the way to the end of the pool and back, but that would be 100 meters. He double-checked the event he was in, and that's when he really started to panic. Eric had been mistakenly entered into the 100-meter freestyle, not the 50. He was in trouble. Over the next few days, Eric nervously watched the other teams practice, asking questions and trying to learn as much as he could. Most of the other swimmers ignored him, but when a South African coach noticed Eric struggling in the pool, wearing a pair of non-regulation board shorts and no goggles, he took Eric under his wing, giving him the gear he needed and some last-minute guidance. When the day of Eric's heat arrived, he stepped onto the starting block with his hands shaking so much he could barely even get his goggles on. He waited for the starting beep, and then suddenly, there was a splash. The other 2 swimmers in his heat had false started, and now, with both of those swimmers disqualified, Eric was left to swim the 100 meters completely alone in front of the massive Sydney crowd. The starting beep sounded, Eric dove in and powered through the first 50 meters with everything he had. But as he made the turn and the lactic acid flooded his muscles and the exhaustion overwhelmed him, he felt himself sinking. His paddling became sluggish and uncoordinated, and he was embarrassed, convinced the world was laughing at him. But as he listened to the Aussie crowd, he realized they weren't laughing. They were on their feet, cheering. He struggled alongside the lane rope, every instinct telling him to grab it and save himself from drowning. But he knew touching it would mean instant disqualification, so he pushed on. And finally, after 1 minute and 52.72 seconds, Eric touched the wall, winning his heat with the slowest 100-meter freestyle in Olympic history.